communicating with your employees, communicating with your spouse, communicating with your management in your business will determine whether your business is going to be successful or not. It's make or break it. If your communication sucks, if it's horrible and you do not know how to communicate, you're not going to get anywhere. People aren't going to listen to you. They're not going to be inspired or influenced by you. Today in our series, we're going to talk about communication tips. Tips to help move your business forward, to help connect with your employees, to connect with your spouse in your business, and then be able to help move projects forward faster, as well as create that fun environment, but also a business working relationship environment with your employees. And so I'm Josh Felber. This is our Coming Together, Working Together, Succeeding Together series on communicating. And I want to be able to help you and your business move forward, empower you, and empower your spouse to work better in your business, as well as move and succeed in your business so you can find that time, so you can find that freedom to be able to do whatever you want, whenever you want. And so the first thing we want to talk about in our business communication with our employees or with our spouse is body language. And what I mean by body language is the nonverbal cues, how we smile, how our eyes look, what kind of hand gestures we make. If our arms are crossed, or if our arms are open, if we're leaning forward intently, if we're leaning back, like we're pulled back and pulled away. And so think about body language and think about your body language next time that you move into a situation to communicate and talk with one of your employees. Maybe you're mad about a situation that they didn't listen and they didn't get a project done, and you're all closed off and crossed off, and how do you think that's going to come across to them? Do you think they will listen to you? Do you think they'll accept and take your advice to move forward and do better next time? Probably not. And so if we move into the situation more open, more understanding, more listening, to then turn around and help them provide a solution for themselves by asking them questions through the use of our body language of being open, inviting, and able to connect and communicate with each other. So tip number one is body language. Figure it out. That'll help you create more influence in your communicating. Tip number two is listening skills. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth. And so how well do you listen? And do you actually listen? Are you just standing there figuring out what the next thing in the conversation is that you want to say? And so we actually intently listen with full presence. We're going to be able to hear and understand what our employees or our spouse are trying to communicate and say to us, so we then can properly provide a response or properly direct them in the next action that we want them to take. But if we're not actually listening fully, intently, and present in the situation, we're not going to know that. We're just going to answer with what we think in our own head that they want to hear. And so just this one little tip alone will create much more easy communication process, as well as create a maximum ability for you to connect and help you move your business forward more successfully. Okay, tip number three is work on your empathy skills. And by what I mean by working on your empathy skills is, how does the other person feel? What are they expecting? The competence of taking someone else's viewpoint can reduce the difficulty in anxiety that someone may feel when you guys are trying to communicate. And so if you're there and you're listening intently, full of presence, empathetically, that's going to allow you to understand their position, understand their situation, and then create the best or provide the best response to connect, to help move them forward, which will then turn around and help move your business forward more successfully. Tip number four is think simplicity. And so many times when we communicate, it's confusing. We're just talking. We want to keep it simple, want to keep it clear and to the point. And if we make it clear, simple, and concise, then there's no misunderstanding. You and I then, we're both on the same page. We totally understand what the other person's expectations are. We understand totally what they are communicating. And so many times you confuse it. You make it confusing, and then we don't know which, and the other person doesn't know which direction to go. So keep it simple. Number 5 is the power of stories. And so the power of storytelling, the power of stories is phenomenal. That's going to create that bond. That's going to create that self-connection between the two parties, whether it's your employees, whether it's your spouse. And so when this has worked really well for myself is when I'm sitting down in a situation, maybe it's a meeting, maybe it's a conference, and just connecting with other people, is telling a story about a similar situation that may have happened to myself, or a client who had a similar situation, and then how they were able to either overcome that or what that outcome was from that story. And that allows the person I'm speaking with to really connect and resonate with that information, to create a connection with them, to help move my ideas forward, to help provide them with an opportunity to solve maybe a solution that they, or come up with a solution that they are needing for their current situation. And so the power of stories is an excellent way to create an effective communication process. Number 5 is ask questions and then rephrase. Many times you may have been in a conversation and started to drift off, or weren't clear exactly on what they were trying to communicate. And so the best way to do that is ask them a question. Well, what do you mean by that? Or can you please clarify for me? And then rephrase what they said. You stated X, Y, Z, and A, B, C, D is what's going to happen next, right? By just doing that alone, you've then cleared up the conversation. You've created that connection that you understand exactly what they are saying. And then that allows you to help create an ability for you both to move forward, whether it's a solution that you're working on, whether it's a project idea. And now, since you're both clear on what the next steps are, then there's no ambiguity. It allows everyone to be in a better present state. So tip number 7 is manage distractions. How many times have you been in a conversation with someone, they've looked down at their cell phone, or their eyes are darting across the room, looking at other people that they may want to have a better conversation with? And so by you managing your distractions, focused on the person, being fully present, not worrying about your cell phone, not worrying about anyone else in the room, or your phone ringing, anything, that's going to allow you to have a better communication with that person, as well as that person will feel like you're trying to connect with them and be present and accountable in the current situation. I hope today's information has helped you have some tips for your business on how to communicate, how to help push and move your business forward, how to connect with other people on a better level. And so leave me a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know some communication strategies that have worked well for you, as well as maybe some challenges that you're having. And then if you know a friend or another entrepreneur colleague or someone that you want to share this video with, please share this video and then let them help pay it forward and help them move their business and their life forward. And our next series, who's the boss? Who is the real leader? Who is the boss in your company? We're going to discuss this and why it's important to have a designated person between you and your spouse to move and help drive the company forward. Too many cooks in the kitchen doesn't make a meal. And so I want to leave you with this thought before we go, is communication leads to community. That is to understand intimacy and mutual valuing of each other. That's by Rolio May. So again, get out there, be extraordinary, and live a supercharged life.